We like to build up all the anticipation.
Wait for it.
Let's say hypothetically that I don't know anything about fly fishing.
Yeah, right?
It was like this instant 8-way man crush.
I'm on the fence.
The time we've been doing this podcast, I've never seen Uncle Buck perk up his dolphin procreation. Like you just flipped up out of your chair.
Yeah, he just blew out his blowhole.
What are you talking about?
And that's pretty much my dream coming true is to actually meet you guys.
Yeah. Well, I'm the humblest guy I know.
Humble. Work and do trade shows in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. You meet some pretty wild guys.
You blew it!
I'm the worst PR person ever. Fire me.
Hey, guys. Welcome back. You are in the current once again. We are the Rutten River Pursuit podcast. This is your home of all things going on in the outdoors in the real time. Who's sitting around the table with us here today? I'm Ryan.
I'm Catfish.
I'm Kyle.
I'm Steve.
Uncle Buck.
Gentlemen,
What's happening, fellas?
how's things going?
Good.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
How are things going with you?
Things are going good with me.
That's good.
Just flew back from Indianapolis. Boy, are my arms tired.
Did you carry Catfish or?
No, I didn't have to carry Catfish.
He carries
Zeed. He was a very carry Zeed. That was good. I like it. She'll appreciate that. I didn't have to carry Catfish. He rode shotgun with me. He's a good co-pilot. Very good job there. Although we did already told you guys a little bit about ATA. We did a wrap-up show.
I have to interrupt.
Go ahead.
You are exactly. Catfish is one hell of a good co-pilot.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I do.
I had
to high five you on that.
I had no want for snacks.
Snacks.
Any snack I wanted.
Or
it was already
conversation.
there. Oh yeah, the conversation was there.
Did you hear this at all? Gosh dang it, Ryan. I'm supposed to sleep halfway home, but I ended up talking to you the entire time. How'd that happen?
Ryan didn't have any trouble staying
pretty
awake.
good.
He had to crack the windows once or twice.
Yeah.
All right.
There was a little bit of that, but I'll tell you what. Ohio needs a little bit of help, boys. Needs a little bit of help with their snowplow technique.
Yeah.
Yeah, because apparently what they do, you know how Pennsylvania will run that tandem snowplow thing where the one in the right lane's a little bit, the one in the left lane's a little bit further ahead than the one in the right lane. They just boom, boom. They clear 2 lanes in one shot. Thing of beauty. Well, apparently they try that in Ohio, but the guy in the left lane, about every 3 miles, he picks up the plow for a quarter mile and then drops it back down.
And you can't see it coming.
I'm telling you, we're on I-70. We are doing 75 miles an hour.
Yeah.
And it is, the road's clear on both lanes and almost dry where the tires run. And it's beautiful. And then all of a sudden, you're like, well, let me go ahead and pass this truck. You jump over in the left lane. All of a sudden, you're looking 300 yards ahead of you. You got a 1/4-inch thick sheet of ice that goes a quarter mile.
And you're stuck behind that rig. Beside that rig, can't go anywhere.
You're like,
For a quarter mile, you're
just clinched
on
up.
thin ice.
You're on thin ice, buddy. It was rough. I couldn't believe it.
I had no clue because my seat was all the way back and I was looking at the ceiling.
He was pontificating.
Oh, whoa. Well, speaking of a big word like that, Brad, today is National Thesaurus Day.
Is that right?
Yes. So
which dinosaur was that?
I think during the Pliasic period.
It was the one with
if
the
there
4
was
horns
a
on his
Pliasic
head.
period.
It was an herbivore.
It was during the Pliasic period.
That was the first vegan dinosaur.
Really?
That's what led to their extinction.
Yes.
Gotcha. Oh, gosh.
How'd we get onto that?
I'm sidetracked.
I'm not sure.
Sidetrack Buck.
Derailed.
The trip back from ATA didn't go without its bumps. Besides the ice, Ohio they're in competition for Pennsylvania with the worst potholes.
Oh, yeah.
It was rough.
You ain't lying there.
I always hear a lot of complaints about Pennsylvania roads because it's got its nomiker there, the Keystone State, right?
Yeah.
So it's there because the only way to get into New England is through Pennsylvania. That's why the roads are traditionally or historically so bad. But Yeah, Ohio and Indianapolis, I think, or Indiana, in a couple spots. Indiana wasn't as bad, but Ohio, they're vying for the title, man. They're vying for it.
Well, they get like 5 times the amount of snow we do too here in Pennsylvania.
That sounds made up.
That's why they don't have
The snow must be heavier, and it creates these giant potholes.
Yeah,
it is. It's heavy.
You could have lost some Volkswagens in these potholes.
It's really heavy snow.
I think I drove over top of Prius because it was trapped in a pothole.
So real quick, ATA, your overall big picture thoughts on it.
ATA was a fantastic show.
Yeah,
we had a good time, made a lot of contacts, talked to a lot of people, shook a lot of babies, kissed a lot of hands.
that's what I'm talking about.
Something like that.
Yeah, that's exactly how it went.
You know what I mean. But yeah, and seeing the new products, having an opportunity to actually put your hands on some stuff. We shot a bunch of bows, messed around with a bunch of the releases that were there. Obviously, it's a lot of archery-centric stuff. So,
sure.
Although we did run into a couple of things, there were some airsoft or air rifles that
were
really slick looking.
There was some different stuff. There was some waterfowl gear there.
Yeah, there were
decoys.
big companies that like
Drake was there.
Yep.
What bow or bows did you guys like the best?
Well, we shot
G5 was the best.
We shot darn near everything that they were giving us a chance to shoot.
Yeah,
and we have conflicting opinions on this.
You do?
Yes. Yeah, I'm a little partial to the Hoyt. That Redworks, the RX-1.
Yeah.
Oh, carbon riser. Get out of town.
I have 7 Hoyts hanging in my house. I've been a Hoyt guy my whole life. I have 1 G5. And when they come out with the Centroid and the shift that has the parallel cam on it, I was addicted. I never had one. But the new one this year, forgive me, I don't remember what it was called. It was in a slate gray.
Oh,
and
that was a sharp-looking bow.
It literally, it felt like you're holding a cloud. It was light. It was balanced. When you drew it back, it was smooth. The back wall was locked.
The logic.
Yes.
That was it.
I just didn't want to say it so people didn't buy it before I could get it. But you blew it. When I shot it, it was as smooth as any other bow out there. But, to me, because of the fact that I always wanted the Centroid or the Shift, it was to me, every bow's different for everybody. So to me, it out maybe 0.5 more than the Hoyt, but the Hoyt was like
pretty close.
It was like a dream. Yeah, it was dreamy bow.
Yeah, and I'm not going to knock that bow from G5. It was a great shooter. I left my options wide open. I was willing to shoot everything. Will and Tracy, I was willing to shoot everything save one company, and Will and Tracy even talked me into trying that. I actually shot a PSE for the first time in, I'll bet you darn near 20 years.
Yeah.
No kidding.
They tried to talk me into it.
It wasn't fair, maybe, but I had formulated an opinion based on an experience I had, and it was anecdotal, but it's a personal experience.
Yep.
That I had while working in a bow shop. One blew up on me. The thing was out of the box. Second time I drew it back when I was setting it up for a guy, it blew up on me.
Yeah.
So,
like exploded.
Needless to say, you made the sale.
And that's what I told Will and Tracy too. It isn't anything personal, but in my lifetime, when I grew up, PSE was the only bow that there was. Before Hoyt, there was nothing better than a PSE. There just wasn't. I was growing up shooting winter leagues and stuff. PSE was where it was. Clean up till I bought my Mach 5, looking up to Terry Ragsdale, their pro shooter back then, my Mach 5 tournament bow. And, I had one blow up on me too.
Really?
Yeah.
So
and even if it never happens again, if it was a fluke, it makes you have, if you take a flintlock rifle out or you take an inline muzzleloader out and you're hunting and you miss a big buck with this rifle because it misfired, you have this weird gut feeling of
leave it home next time.
And that's how you get these personal opinions. But there's nothing at all wrong with the PSC Bow Company today. And their bows are phenomenal.
Yeah, and they got me talked into trying it. And I honestly don't remember if it was the Carbon Air or the Evolve from matter. PSC. I don't honestly remember which one it was, but they talked me into shooting it because they were shooting it and talking about how great it was. I was pretty impressed. It was a smooth draw. a lot of these bows, and I think it was that PSE that I drew back. A lot of these bows are unbelievable. The way that they're set up, especially at these shows, and they do it intentionally. I mean, they're shooting a super heavy arrow out of these things, so it will absorb some of that vibration and the jump of the bow.
Yep.
Shooting a heavier arrow out of it than you should. So they do that, and they also have a lot of these have options to adjust your let off. So when they hand you this bow, they're setting them as high on the let off as they can. And this particular bow had it was the HL cams, which was their high let off cams, and I'm thinking it was 95% let off.
You're holding nothing.
And it was darn near scary because I shot it the second time that I drew it back. First time I like to draw nice and slow and just feel that the weight stack, and then it just drops into that pocket.
Yep.
And you hit the wall, and then I test the anchor, and then I shoot the bow. This second time I drew it back, I actually was trying to work on the let up just to see, and honestly, it felt like I was pushing that string forward almost an inch. Like I felt like
it wobbled in your left hand.
I felt like my left arm was going to collapse and let the riser just come smashing me in the face.
I'll show you a video of that later.
It was weird. It was a strange feeling because I wasn't holding any weight.
Yeah.
Scary. But pretty sweet. And it was a smooth shooting bow.
Yeah.
Awesome.
There was only one thing more majestic than that bow, and that was you shooting it, I have to say. Watching you shoot that bow almost made me be a PSE buyer. But it was only because Ryan was shooting it.
Yeah.
No.
Way to get me in their commercials.
I'm trying, buddy.
Any other quick tidbits from ATA without spoiling the...
We did when we did our recap, we went over sort of like a top 5 list. I don't want to rehash those again, but there was some really innovative products, and every company that's there that sells stuff related to archery had new equipment. Yeah. Whether it was a clothing manufacturer, Sitka Gear, Nomad, or the bows like we talked about, even the releases. We stopped at Cobra, and we talked to those guys for a while, and they've got some
brand new owner.
Yeah, they've got they're basically under new management.
We met the new owner,
and they've got some pretty innovative releases coming up, like what you would traditionally think of as a handheld competition, almost like a back tension type release.
Yep.
And it's integrated into a wrist strap, so you don't have to worry about losing it. Obviously, in a hunting scenario,
it's pretty gnarly.
But it is still a trigger release, not a thumb trigger release. But you draw it back and you hold it almost like a T handle.
Yeah.
Of a back tension.
I kind of liked it.
Pretty cool. It was pretty cool.
Interesting.
And they said that was designed actually to take a lot of the weight instead of being on your wrist when you draw that back. It moves it because you can grip it like a T handle and moves a lot of that weight in the draw back into your forearm and into your bicep and tricep. Takes some of that tension off the wrist. Guys are having trouble with that.
Interesting. I really liked ATA for the fact that there was the mega players there. Yep. Like the biggest guys in the industry, Sitka, Nomad, Hoyt, Matthews, you name it.
Rutten River.
Rutten River was there.
Beat me to it. That's the second time tonight you beat me to it.
But there was some of the small guys there for the first time. This is our first year out. This is our product.
That's cool.
That were almost, you could see a little bit of nervousness.
Yeah.
And I'm talking selling everything from, I don't remember seeing that many deer attractants and deer lure companies before at a show. And Great American Outdoor Show has, their share of them.
Yeah.
But, there was guys there that set up a booth. Now, this is expensive. It's an expensive show on that floor to buy a booth. And there was guys there selling, like, bow holders that were, like, lanyards with a hook. Like, it's like a thing goes around your neck with the thing you clip on the dog leash to clip on your D-loop. Hang your bow from you. Look at this. And I went, it's your first year here. Yeah. So, and I'm not busting on them, but it was a lanyard with a dog leash thing on it, and it was cool. I mean, they had a nice booth, and good for them.
They did
good
have
for
a
them
setup.
for dreaming, and their booth looked nice.
That would be something I would think you'd see more at, like, the Great American Outdoor Show in Harrisburg, a consumer show, because I imagine, based on what we saw from their product line, they got pretty reasonable price points.
Yeah.
And if they're at a consumer show, they can probably push numbers.
Yeah, they'll sell a ton of those.
I don't know how many orders were being placed by archery shops for particular product. I mean, that's one of those point of sale things where you hang them by your register, and guys are like, oh, that's a cool idea.
What they don't have at the Great American Outdoor Show when you walk into the convention center is like 5-star restaurants there promoting whatever they do, and like me and Ryan's just walking down, and there's a guy carving like a 3,500-pound ham.
What?
Like this big, beautiful ham under a hot
3,500-pound ham.
Yeah,
That's a big ham.
you know, with the white hat on.
See it next year's
That's
ATA.
that's a Pliastic ham.
Like these.
Came from that thesaurus dinosaur.
That's right. Like these, like fancy little plates under the heaters with these southern buttered biscuits and slices of ham with some kind of fancy cheese, and you walk in and they're like, "Oh yeah, good morning here," and they're like, "Yeah, they don't.
Okay.
They don't really say hi to you like that."
No.
It's quite
up
the breakfast
there,
sandwich.
It hit the spot,
I'll
and there
say.
was lots of things like that. Walking around, there was Scent Crusher was there giving away hats.
Yeah.
And they had a drawing. They're giving away these awesome bags, these awesome orange bags that were usable every day. And in this bag, there was a ticket where you tore the ticket stub off and put it in this glass thing that rolled around like a bingo ball thing.
Mm-hmm.
And they're giving away $1,000 every now and again, like cash.
No kidding.
Yeah, just
Jeez.
yeah. Be here at 2:00. We're giving away $1,000 cash. Be here, and there's not that many people in the building, so you might be one of 110 tickets to win.
Yeah.
$1,000.
Now, Catfish, those Scent Crusher bags that they were giving out those weren't just like to collect literature from all the rest of the companies. Those are actually functional Scent Crusher bags.
They were.
Like
They were super
You
nice.
can store. Now they aren't huge, but like I have a bag similar to that from another company. And what I do is when I do all my laundry before archery season starts, that's the bag where I put all my gloves, hats, and everything for the entire season because it's not big enough to put a couple sets of clothes in, but it's just the right size. But did you know that? Because I kept your bag.
Of course I
didn't give it to you. Of course I did. Because I have your bag too.
Actually, did we not? We brought a couple of them home. Or did
We
not?
sure did. I have them all.
Oh, yeah. Okay. There are some Scent Crusher bags, guys, if you want one. We brought some of them home. They were nice. No, I did not know that, but now that I do, I'd like to have mine back.
Spoken for.
Guys, it's killing me. I saw a particular vendor through the Retton River feed, like the story feeds, and I saw it more than once because it did make a mark with us, and it's now Catfish is majorly etched in my head about this product, and which we
I already know what it is.
fondly have come to call the Death Helmet.
Oh, I was wrong.
That's right.
But now I know what it is.
Please tell me that there's more of an explanation behind that thing than
No.
just to wear it to stalk something to get
It's
that's
get
what it's
yourself
for.
shot.
It's exactly what it is. It's a decoy hat.
It's a decoy hat.
Who?
End of
What?
story. That's what it is.
And Catfish, then
what?
you're
They were-
absolutely right. Somebody's going to get shot.
They were clearly not designed to be used
In Pennsylvania?
In Pennsylvania, where it's 37,000 hunters per square mile, something like that.
Did they have a fluorescent orange copy?
No, they did not. But the funny thing was, I can't honestly say if there was a whitetail one. There was antelope. The one I think the video and the pictures.
Whitetail.
The one in the video and the pictures I think is a black-tailed deer. But
Yeah.
you got to be careful. You got to know what you're doing when you're wearing when you're wearing your decoy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's the whitetail version.
Especially if you're wearing a doe one during the rut.
I thought I saw one.
Especially if you're wearing a doe one during the rut. You're absolutely right. You shouldn't be
That
that.
could make for a bad day.
Well, they have turkey fans, and they have turkey decoys now that you can hunt with a shotgun behind the fan to sneak up on turkeys.
Yeah.
So what we're talking about is essentially the same concept,
come
but this
through high
is
grass
a I don't want to say super high def, but a very definitioned rubber hat that is molded to look like a antelope.
It's like
molded to look like a mule deer, and you wear it on your head to stalk and get closer.
Yeah, but to me, it's the outdoor equivalent of the Green Bay Packers cheddar head.
Oh, no, that's exactly what it
Ain't
is.
that what I just said? That's what I thought
That's
I said.
exactly what it is.
Thought I
It
just said that.
sits a little high, but yeah.
And God dang, if truer words were never spoken, Catfish, somebody's gonna get shot.
Oh yeah. I anticipate that will happen.
6 o'clock in the morning.
Kennedy style.
Walking through the Pennsylvania woods, coming up over a knoll, breaking daylight, and you have a deer head on your head with a giant rack on it, whether it's rubber or not. Yeah, I could see.
They actually made a Pennsylvania version of that.
Yeah.
It's only a 4-point.
So you're okay.
Unless you're around, don't wear it on youth hunting day.
Yeah.
But other than that,
What if you're
you should
12
be
years
good in
old?
most parts of the state with just a 4-corn.
That's all right.
Depends how bad their eyesight is.
That was not the only invention there that seemed almost gimmicky for our area, if you will. But it did stand out. You're right.
Well, I mean, and there are gimmicky products in the outdoor industry. There will always be some. My favorite has always been the rear view mirror. The deer view mirror.
Deer
It's called.
view mirror.
Do you remember that one at all?
I don't.
It was literally a rear view mirror from your windshield that was mounted to this flex arm that had a little tree post screw-in thing on the other end.
So you don't have to turn
So
around
you
and
would
look
screw
behind
it into the tree right above your head in the tree stand, and then use the flex arm, and you set it off to the side, and you could look over
Watch a trail.
and see what's behind you.
That sounds brilliant.
Deer view mirror.
Yeah.
We never sold a single one, but we carried a lot of them at the Bow Hunter Superstore where I worked.
Oh man.
I remember seeing them just collect dust year after year.
Really?
It's like, oh man, these guys.
I saw something that we didn't talk about on me and Ryan's wrap-up of ATA that I was extremely interested in. We took a small video of it. I don't know if we sent it to you, but it's like a plastic handle that's maybe 2-3 feet long, and it's attached to a, dare I say, 6-foot arrow. So
the atlatl.
Yes. So what you do is you take this like 6-foot javelin arrow, and there's a plastic handle under it, and you bring it back like you're throwing a javelin, and as you come forward, you whip your wrist, and it slings down, and it throws this giant arrow. And apparently people were killing pigs with it. And I've not seen it before, but to pick it up in person, it looks like it would take some practice, but it isn't something I'm against trying.
I could have used one of those in archery season.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen videos of guys killing boar and stuff like that. With
It's not something you want to hunt squirrels with, but
you're not going to hunt squirrels with it. You're not going to kill a deer in Pennsylvania with one because you got to be relatively close, and there's a whole lot of motion.
There's a
that
lot
it
of
takes,
motion.
but that would be so cool to play with.
Yes, I wanted to take that one that was there.
Be like, here, Uncle
couldn't
Buck,
fit it in my
hold
coat.
this apple on your head.
Stand real still now.
Yeah.
You remember
Nice
what
and
that was
easy.
called?
It's an atlatl.
What?
And that, that's
It's a Native
That's why I didn't
American
say what it
term.
is.
Yeah,
It's a spear you chuck.
You do chuck that bugger.
Okay. All
Absolutely.
right, I got you now.
Yeah, and that's
La,
the
la, la,
name. That's the name of the weapon. I forget what booth we were at where we saw that.
What was the booth number?
It was Carbon Express booth, actually.
It was
Carbon Express made that. I don't remember the booth number.
Say the name of it again for me. bud.
Atlatl.
Addle.
I hope I'm pronouncing
Adolescence.
it right so I don't sound like silly.
Addle.
Adolescents. Yes.
That'll probably get edited.
For,
Is there a phonetic?
Yeah.
The proper spelling is ATLATL,
So I say atlatl.
Addle.
Anyhow, it was cool.
which is correct according to
Nice.
Wikipedia
Oh,
pronunciation.
real
Thank
quick,
you,
too.
Kyle.
What is the most comfortable tree couch thing that we sat on together? Like we might have sat there.
That was
For a
called the Sasquatch by Hulk.
It is,
Or Bigfoot. No, it was Sasquatch.
and what an amazing,
Sasquatch.
what an
Yeah, it was
amazing ladder stand.
Yeah.
I could sit in it all week.
Really?
Even with my bad back, when I sat down, and it wasn't just because tired of walking around the ATA. When I sat down, I literally lifted the front bar and went, "Ryan, you have to sit down with me. Ryan.
Do you know the,
Ryan? You got to sit down with me. Get over here now and sit in it."
Do you know the love seat that sits in the center of the rec area at Miser Creative Media's living space?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. It's bigger than that love seat
What?
that sits there.
And more comfortable.
Holy cats.
It was amazing.
Wow.
It all but makes popcorn for you.
I don't think I would want to hunt out of that.
Does it come with a deer view mirror?
Big nap. Two. actually. Two.
One on either side.
One for each side.
It's the most comfortable tree stand I've ever sat in.
It would be hard to hunt out of it.
It would be. It'd be hard.
Sleepy.
I fall asleep in my tree stand now. I can't imagine that one. So I was telling Ryan, the girls that were there. Remember the girls there? I had them laughing because I was saying I'd like to take some of these, get rid of all my furniture in my house, and mount them to the wall, and just have all these tree stands mounted on the wall, and people come in and be like, "Really?" And then they sit in it and go, "Oh,
I get it.
I get it."
And then maybe you could get fancy and put one on like a hydraulic jack and really put yourself up. You got that high loft.
Oh, it could absolutely, yes, like a ski lift.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't think about that. We could just buy an old bucket truck, spray painted camouflage, and mount one of them to it.
Now you're talking.
I think we got a business idea right here, boys.
Patent pending.
I take my tree stand with me everywhere I go.
Did we just do that?
And you'll hear a bunch of other cool inventions that we talked about on our wrap up, but I mean ATA for the most part was different because it was the trade show, but in itself a must see at least once. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's a must.
Stop me and say Uncle Buck.
All right, stop.
Stop. Uncle Buck.
We covered that on the end in our ATA wrap up, but I have to ask about a couple of intriguing things that I saw you guys share. I saw shared out of there. One was the hunter harness with the built-in
The USB charger?
USB charger.
We don't go there.
Yeah.
And I did like that multi-configurable tree hanger system.
I think you'll hear about both of those in our wrap up.
Gotcha. Thank you. So stop right there, Buckman.
Stop right there, Buckman.
Cool. Thanks, guys.
Back away,
Appreciate
not
it.
today.
Yeah.
Probably, spoiler alert, probably probably in our top 5 on one of me and Ryan's is that 4-in-1 tree stand blind.
Gotcha.
It was good.
Gotcha.
It was good. Yeah.
I can't wait, guys. I can't wait.
It is something.
Everybody stay tuned.
Something that you should own. You know, if I seen lots of stuff I'd like to have, and there was very little things I walked around and said I will have one of these, and that was one of them.
That was on the list.
That was on
Absolutely.
the list. Yeah.
Well, it was strange not having you guys here last week.
Yeah, I'm sorry we missed it. We really were roughing it.
Yeah, sounds like it.
Yeah.
Sounds like it was a tough time. So
that was,
we're glad
that was
you're back.
Thursday night.
My bed had 8 pillows on it.
Yeah.
By the way.
And I believe that was the night that Catfish went out on the town in his short britches.
Short britches. Yeah, that was.
That was Thursday night.
Oh, I don't know what you're talking about.
There's photographic proof, buddy.
Yeah, I wish over the skyways and byways, it's hard to draw that picture of the striking
It's on Instagram.
image of Catfish.
Is it really?
It's on Instagram. You don't have to imagine too hard.
I don't know if I did put that out there.
You might not have. But someone
Here's the
did.
$1,000,000 question: walking through the streets of Indianapolis, who do you stop to get that picture with? And, hey, take my picture.
Yeah, these guys aren't actually aware of this. Catfish met Will and I at that bar where we were at for a drink because we had already met up with Carrie, and then we were going to meet the Up North Journal guys and the Take Aim podcast guy.
Yeah.
Like there was a group that was already there, and we were getting a hold of Catfish to come back out and join us. He had to run back to the hotel for a minute. When he got to the bar, he was wearing his short britches. Everyone's enjoying it, and it's so much fun. And he shows me his phone. He's like, yeah, look at this picture. And I looked at it for a second, and then I asked to see his phone again. And I looked at it closer, and I said, buddy, that's not a selfie. We weren't with you. Who took this picture?
Catfish?
That goes to the grave.
Because I can guarantee you, walking back to the hotel with Catfish, none of the homeless people bothered him. They were real quick to stop everybody else. But I think I saw one guy slip $1 into his back pocket.
Into his denim.
When you're wearing knee-high rubber lacrosse boots and Daisy Dukes, in an ice storm, nobody messes with.
I was on the phone with Catfish moments before he walked into the door.
Oh, that's right.
To meet you guys, and that's what's so funny is hearing that story because I kind of was with Catfish on that.
That was a good time. Good times.
There was 1 second in the hotel where I wondered, this is not my hometown. We're in downtown city. Should I actually walk the 8 blocks to the bar in this at night? So there was a moment.
You
that
didn't
moment passed.
As good as for
no
2
cars stopped
seconds.
and tried to proposition you or anything, did they?
Only the person that took my picture.
Good stuff.
Oh, good on you.
I ain't
bud.
saying that picture wasn't texted to me.
Oh goodness, I don't know if I can. Oh god.
Well, I'm glad you're back.
That wasn't my most embarrassing moment. My most embarrassing moment was actually on the ride home when Brother Ryan tried to warn me. There's certain things that you don't do at truck stops on the highway. And this is the kind of truck stop where you walk in and...
Don't yell free sex.
Yeah, well, on the loudspeaker, they said, well, Shower Bay 2 is open for any truckers that want to come in, blah, blah, blah. It was like a true truck stop.
Yeah.
It was like glistening. I had to have it. It was there at the checkout counter. You know how, like, at the grocery store Giant, they have the hot bar?
Uh-huh.
Yep.
What were we, about 4 hours into our trip?
Did you get a corn?
5?
Yeah, we were a little over.
Did they have
or
a corn
almost
dog
halfway.
up there?
They had meatloaf.
What?
Truck stop meatloaf.
It looked good.
It looked good.
It came with mashed potatoes.
So here I am.
How could you go wrong?
Here I am, not listening to Ryan. I jump in the truck for another 5 hours, and we're headed down the road.
I was going to say, how was that meatloaf about 4 hours down the road, Ryan?
Ryan's wife calls on speakerphone on the truck, give us a little, talking on the, and I'm, how you guys doing? I'm like, oh man, I love my little styrofoam box meatloaf and mashed potatoes. It's so good. I got it at the truck stop. I should have even known when she was like, oh.
It's not a good plan, bud.
I was editing some film on my phone about an hour later. It couldn't have been but an hour later, and something happened. Like something moved. Something moved, and I told Ryan, oh.
That was what I heard right there. Oh. And I've heard an oh like that before.
Yeah.
And immediately it was like, I'm
never
reaching
good.
for the controls.
Oh,
Putting
man.
them windows down.
My own eyes were watering. Listen, here's how you know a good buddy.
You broke international war rules there, didn't you?
Oh man, we got
You were
about
chemical.
50 miles down the road, and you could hear my intestines sounded like a mad raccoon.
I think
It was like gargling river mud.
Gargling. Wasn't that your name of your high school band, Kyle?
Gargling river mud.
GRM.
We broke up after one concert.
That's how you know a true brother, that he wants to get home at a certain time. And I don't even have to ask, hey, can you stop at the next truck stop? He just said, hey, we're going to stop right up here. Anyhow,
Thought maybe be a good idea.
long story short, we ran half an hour late after that. So
My goodness.
don't eat truck stop meatloaf, no matter how good it looks.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Noted.
Kyle, you haven't been around. Have you been off eating truck stop meatloaf?
I've been trying to stay away from the truck stop meatloaf.
It's well advised.
I was able to get out hunting a couple times, unsuccessful, of course. But
Why, of course.
well, late
Not
season
of
hunting's
course.
tough.
Oh, yeah. But
When
you can do it.
oh no, you can do it.
You got it. No, you, Kyle.
Yeah,
I
no.
believe in you,
No,
bud.
Well, it's over now.
not for me. It isn't.
Oh, you live in that special. Kyle lives in the special place.
I have like a half of the year I could shoot deer. It starts middle of September and pretty much goes straight through till the end of January. I'm spoiled that way. But
So no luck.
No luck. No luck with that. But my brother got a doe.
Did he?
Yeah.
So that's like number 43 for him?
For
the Parkins
for the family. I think we might maybe up to 10
Really?
between the four of us.
Wow.
That's small numbers. But
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
oh yeah. But yeah, no, deer
As
still
big as all you guys are, that probably is. It's not quite enough to make it.
Yeah, that's
To-
true.
January.
To make
Through
it through
January.
January. But deer definitely still moving. They
Are they?
Oh yeah, they continue to taunt me in all the places that you can't hunt them.
Nice.
In the late season where we're at now, and you have these 50-degree days, do you see Do you see more deer active during those days, or when it's?
It's now it seems it's more that the temperature of the weather swings. So like you could see them if it like, for example, like the other week when we had those brutally cold temperatures and then we had that warm up. They were on their feet. It's the big temperature swings that get them
up or down.
Yeah, when this time of year, yeah.
Really?
But I mean, when it's hot out and temperature skyrockets up, you're not gonna see them.
So today's Thursday, and it was 25 degrees or something like that today. Saturday, we're supposed to be in the 50s. Do you expect?
And yesterday it was negative 25.
Yeah. So I'd say you'd probably see them. They'll probably be moving good like Friday because I think Friday's like 41 and clear weather. So and then obviously anytime like.
So you're saying I should get out Friday?
Yeah.
Now it's closed around me, so I still go out Friday?
No, you should still go out.
Oh.
It's cool.
With the
Kyle from our
and you could put 4 shells in your shotgun.
Actually, you can put
this
5
time
for deer.
This time of year.
Yeah, this time of year only.
No plugs.
No plug. But that and then any big weather change like snowstorm, like right after a snowstorm or right before a snowstorm, they're going to be moving. But yeah, season's been good overall. I'm going to still try and get out here a couple more times. And other than that, I haven't been really doing a whole lot. Just kind of saving up for what I want to buy and prepping myself. Keeping all my brownie points good with the wife for the big
you
push
have to
for the
store
Great
those
American.
up. Yeah,
you do.
Are your sits as long this part of the year? And okay, and I was hoping you would be honest.
I've been hiding. It's funny that Stevie asked me because I've been hiding in my house the past. Probably that whole cold spell. I was like, I got 3 deer in the year.
Yeah.
I'm not going out.
I was so glad that I got to go to the ATA because I didn't have to explain to other people why I didn't hunt those last couple of days. It was so cold. I had no interest in it. And these guys like, oh, let's go ice fishing. I'm like, oh, let's watch TV and drink beer on the couch. See, I mean, there's options, right? Let's not rule them all out.
There's cold and then there's brutally cold. Like I have no problem hunting in the cold, but when you're talking like wind chill and like the -10s, that's when I'm like,
it's hurtful.
Don't you feel that, like, as the season goes on, the more you get out, the more accustomed to that you get? Like, it's not,
you do, but when you're sitting 20 feet in the air, there's no getting accustomed to -10.
Yeah, I guess. You can't you're not really moving around like when you're staying still.
Yeah, when you're sitting at a tree stand.
Hey, Mr. Ice Cube, are you getting accustomed to the freezer? I mean, he doesn't have a choice, right? But the rest of us.
I think that's an important thing to point out, Kyle, because at least when we're ice fishing, you get cold, you go drill a few more holes, and I guarantee you're sweating. And walk around a little bit. That's not.
Well, the day after we got back from the ATA show, we were out goose hunting. Was it? Yeah.
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 I wasn't. It's too cold.
No, I was.
I was drinking beer.
You hunted in the morning and fished in the afternoon or something like that.
When that's the same thing. Like when you're laying on the ground in a layout blind and it's like that, and you're trying to sit still.
Yeah.
There comes to a point where you start to think, is this surviving or am I hunting? Like, am I surviving or having fun? And you get warmed up when deer come around.
Yeah.
Like you don't realize it, or when geese fly. But that long sit can get pretty. It gets pretty cold.
Well, and not to mention when it's that cold, majority of the time you're not ready for the deer when they're coming because you're sitting here huddled up like that, and then it's like you see a deer over there, you're like, oh crap! It's like I'm gonna move way too much to get into position.
I guess that is, and I'm okay with it if that's a moniker that I end up with. But I'm stiff core, right? I'm not hardcore. I'm not going out in that.
You're sub-zero
so
core.
You're just stubborn.
I'm just kind of
break
that
like
could
that.
be.
Once you start
Not really
hunting geese and you get them geese
softcore
locked up coming in your lap, you'll break of that.
I guess you got to get me out there.
Yeah.
I wasn't cold one bit sea duck hunting. And now, granted, we had a balmy day that got
Wasn't it like 70 degrees when you were
It felt
out
like
there,
70 degrees after you experienced.
I wasn't cold at all at 70 degrees.
It wasn't cold at all at 32
Yeah, it was
compared to what
30s,
we
right?
had for the previous 2 weeks. And then what really was nice, there was no wind.
Well, that's what zaps it out of you.
Yeah.
See, that's
so
the
the
difference.
sun actually heated you up.
That's the difference between goose hunting, me laying in a layout blind, and Kyle sitting 20 feet in a tree. The wind gets him.
Yeah.
It kind of sweeps up over my layout. I can hide from it. You know, the winds can zap the cold out of you quicker than just being cold.
Yeah, there's no hiding from the wind in a tree stand.
We learned about that convection heat loss is can either save your life or take it, depending on which side of the spectrum you're on.
Now, speaking of what you just said, the 4-in-1 tree stand blind we saw, the guy had a leaf blower blowing the side of it, and we were putting our hands on the other side of the fabric. You could not feel it. Like a big leaf blower.
No,
this thing was this thing was flapping like a kite, and you could not feel the wind on the other side of it.
That's awesome.
It was nice.
Speaking of ice,
Stevie, you know about the ice.
Yeah.
You've been out on the ice since we've chatted last.
Yeah, a couple times. Yeah, I don't know. It's been tough the last few
year
times.
you had an hour.
Yeah, last year I
So
had an
this
hour.
year-
I've been out 6 or 7 times, something like that, so far this year, and it's getting. I don't know. The further in the season it gets, the tougher it's get. Like for me, it seems the further into January we're getting, the tougher it's getting, and then once you get, later into February, it starts to pick back up again. But it's got so Sunday. I was telling Phil, I fished for 3 hours and drilled 14 holes, and I caught 1 fish. I saw a bunch, was marking a bunch on the deeper, a ton of fish, but they just weren't having it. Yeah, so that makes for a tough day. Then David Kyle and I went out again a couple days after that, and same thing. Drilling, and just the lake we were at on Tuesday, they're just I hardly marked anything. I don't know where they were. I don't know where the fish got to, but they weren't biting that day. That's for sure. But even beyond that, I did something pretty cool this weekend that I've never been to before, and it's kind of outdoorsy, I guess. And that's the rodeo. You guys ever been to a rodeo?
I saw you sending pictures.
Oh
of that.
my goodness, that was so much fun.
The way I understand it, you're quitting podcasting?
I'm going to give up
Joining the
podcasting.
rodeo, bud.
I'm giving up podcasting and going full-time rodeo.
Now, you going to be a rodeo
bronc?
clown or a bull rider?
You riding bulls? You bronc busting? What are you doing, bud?
Those are some of the toughest guys I've ever seen. Like just tough guys. There's one guy who's 57 years old, and he's still riding horses, jumping off a moving horse and, onto a cow and bringing it down to the ground, in 4 seconds or something insane like that.
Bud, back in the day, I had a few dates like that.
What was his name?
I jumped off that horse and had to bulldog her down. I'm sorry.
I said I was talking to you. Turn around.
I couldn't resist that.
Bless your heart, Uncle Bill, Uncle Buck. But no, that was a lot of fun, and it's good.
That's the first one you've been to.
Yeah, I've watched them on TV, but
They are tough boys.
Oh man, they are.
Because they're going to get up all busted up, bruised up, broken up, and they're going to do it again the next time.
Yeah.
They're modern day Evel Knievel's.
But did you ever see one of their PBR flat jackets? They look like a Ryan Madera vest.
They're steel.
Yeah.
Aren't they?
They have mesh in them.
Do they?
I think they believe they have like wire mesh, like steel mesh or something. But they're
Okay,
they're like a leather vest. But if you ever,
It's like a barrel.
I don't know, it might even stop a bullet. They're pretty tough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that
You got to
So
earn
they
one
don't
of
get
those. I don't
stomped
think
on,
that you
right?
just can buy one.
Yeah.
what's that, buddy?
That's so they don't get stomped
Correct. It's so they don't get a horn through their chest.
or stomped
Yeah.
on by a hoof.
They gave me one
They did.
Yeah.
Did they?
They just gave it
Really?
to you.
because
Oh,
they
Ryan
know
just
vests
showed-
are my thing. So
Yeah, Ryan just showed up and be like,
Here
give
you
that-
go, bud.
Give that man a PBR.
If you ever get a chance to go, it's just a good, wholesome. I want to say redneck fun, but it's just good.
yeah.
Good country boy
Good
fun.
wholesome fun.
It's man, you'll love it. There's not the whole time. It's like 3 hours. You just nonstop guys riding horses and I don't know.
Now, see, was that
It's a
part
good
of
time.
the farm
It
show?
was the last day of the farm show. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So these were the finals in
So
that
you're
particular
just
rodeo.
familiarizing yourself with the layout for when we're there in a couple weeks.
A little bit. That place was packed.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, big time.
slow people, just like Sammy said.
Slow people.
Slow people.
The
Oh.
worst.
If the outdoor show is packed, the farm show is packed. Man,
I don't
Yeah.
even go anymore.
This was even on the last day too.
You
But
got to go get your milkshake and leave.
I was going to say, they do milkshakes at like other times of the year too.
They do.
Yeah.
And fried cheese cubes.
Fried cheese.
What?
cubes.
I've learned I can eat
Did
just
you
as
miss that?
I didn't have any fried cheese cubes.
You were in the wrong
You're
radio.
not
Tell me
living,
about
buddy.
that.
You're not. You better go back and get a refund because
You're missing out.
that's the
buddy.
whole point.
Really?
People go there.
It's crab cakes at the hunting show. It's fried cheese cubes and
They
milkshakes
don't have
at the
the
farm show.
cheese cubes at the outdoor show.
No.
no.
But they have
We gotta look
that
into that.
pickle
But
You
stand.
gotta be kidding.
No, they always have
Nope.
the pickle stand.
But they do have milkshakes at the Great American
meat
Outdoor
Yeah.
Show.
I tell you what, the meat
Yeah.
stick place over there in that gun hall, that
We-
place.
Yeah.
I look forward more to the food at the Great American Outdoor Show anymore. Because it's more my food, like stinky meats and
Stinky meats.
like meat sticks, smoked meats, and
Yeah.
Stinky meats.
Phil loves
Crab
meat in his
sticky
mouth.
sandwiches.
Or
Sticky
sticky
meats.
meats.
things that go good.
He's not wrong, though. I mean, that's what makes corn dogs great. Anytime that you
And
put
dare I say they sell a beer or two at the Great American Outdoor Show?
Dare you say, Uncle Buck?
Hey, you
Actually-
mind your hole.
You just reminded me of something. That was the number one reason why I warned you against the truck stop meatloaf.
What is that?
It's because you had 2 corn dogs 2 hours before that.
Everybody knows you can't miss.
It might have been the corn dogs that did it to you, not the truck stop
bag of
meatloaf.
beef jerky.
There's no denying where that where that stench came from. And now, in all fairness, to
What made me
Catfish,
sick was it smelled the same way before I ate it.
in all fairness to Catfish,
much.
he had a real short, like little cat nap right before that truck stop.
Yeah.
And I don't know what I ate, but I thought I was going to wake him up. And he slept through it. And I was honest with him when he woke up. I'm like, dude, you picked a good time to take a nap because that was
Maybe
I told him
that was not of this earth.
I had a bad dream. Thought like a puma was choking me in my sleep.
But he got his retribution.
And altogether, honestly, that like being the passenger is tough for me.
Yeah.
I talked Ryan. Kept telling Ryan, I will not fall asleep on you. It's not happen. Dude, my eyes are so heavy. Will you forgive me? Dude, can you wake me up in 20 minutes?
That's
No,
like
I'm not. And I told him for like an hour. No, I'm good. And then all of a sudden, hey, we're pulling to this truck stop. I'm like, hey, I was out for like 50 minutes.
Until that puma got its jaws around your neck.
paws around your neck.
Talking about pouncing pumas, back to ice fishing real quick.
Yeah.
Is that your new bait?
Stevie showed up
Pouncing
on the ice
pumas.
out with me and Logan, and he brought his cooler out with minnows in it.
Yeah.
And he made the mistake of going, hey, guys, there's minnows here if anybody wants them. And we were all like a pack of pumas going, yeah, okay, thanks. Jumping and grabbing all those minnows.
Yeah.
Did they work?
Heck, yeah, they worked.
I've never failed with minnows under the
Perch love minnows.
Yeah.
And you know the great thing about ice fishing is you can cut the minnow off and just use the head. It works twice as good.
You can use a dead minnow.
Yeah.
Well, we talked on the drive back a little bit about ice fishing and some of the things that you just don't see during ice fishing. And I don't remember for sure if we said this or not, but do people catch a lot of muskie through the ice? Is that one of the ones we said you don't see a lot of that?
No, we were talking about why do people not catch bass?
Right,
through the
bass.
ice?
I know bass for sure, but the reason I brought it up, somebody showed me a picture today, and if I get the state park wrong, I apologize, but I think it was Whipple Dam State Park. They had they're doing some work on the dam, and they had let a lot of water out, so it's not as deep as it normally is. Obviously, all the fish there are then going to be congregated. Somebody was ice fishing there at Whipple Dam today and sent one of my coworkers a picture. It had to be 46-inch muskie that he pulled through the ice.
Nice.
It doesn't happen very often,
Yeah.
and we don't know. No, people don't know why. Like pike, walleye, crappie. I mean, you perch, of course. There's certain species that seem to feed well in the wintertime. Bass, muskies don't seem to do that. Like I don't. You've been to Lake Mead. You catch 40, 50 bass a day. Whatever in the springtime, summertime. But you can fish that entire lake all winter. And in the 12 years I've been there, I've caught one bass through the ice.
Really?
One bass. Yep. And I've only ever seen one other bass caught through the ice. So I don't.
That's nuts.
I would like to know anybody out there knows the logistics or like the reasoning behind that. We would love to hear that.
We would love to be invaginated upon that subject.
Yes, please call and tell us why that happens.
I don't know if that's a correct application of that word, but.
Well, when did you all of a sudden become a thesaurus?
You just
sorry on Thesaurus Day.
Oh, okay, Merriam-Webster.
It is the
guys. I want to ask a question. I think it's going to be something I'm going to try to ask every week.
What's that?
Current, and is: did anybody have a honey bun moment this week? Did anybody end their day with a honey bun?
Yeah, I was guilty. I had a honey bun today at lunch.
Actually, I did too. It's funny you said that. The non-lunch that I had in between cases was, I shoved a honey bun down as quick as I could.
All right, then it's been a good week.
I broke the honey bun rule today though, because it was a horrible day at work, and I was using the honey bun to make it better. Usually it's supposed to be the honey bun to celebrate a good day.
Top it off, yeah.
I tell you what, it did it though.
That's good.
Well, and then you know what, Catfish. Then I'm not going to shame you for doing that.
Don't shame him.
Honey bun.
I was just using the honey bun.
That's okay.
I was using
sometimes you have to.
I was saving it for a good moment.
Yeah,
but it didn't happen. I'm just going to use you to make me feel better.
Live vicariously through Phil's honey buns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's enough to go around.
Think that's enough current for 1 week?
Guys, I'm taken away by the current right now. So,
well, it's funny. I was scrolling through social media today too, and I saw something that kind of makes me think about why we do what we do. There's this group of guys, the Joneses, they call them. It's called Keep It Up with the Joneses. It's this disabled kid, Austin Jones.
Okay.
And he produced this video. If you guys check it out when you have a chance, it's hashtag Live Intrepid by Austin Jones, and it's just a beautiful video of kind of why we hunt and just the power behind hunting and the emotion that him and his dad share with it. It's pretty awesome.
I can't wait.
Awesome. It kind of struck a chord with me because it's kind of why we do what we do every week here at Rotten River. It's just one of those powerful things that really represents us as outdoorsmen. So
awesome.
Perfect.
Yeah, thanks for sharing that.
Yeah, no problem. So, guys,
I almost forgot.
What'd you forget about, bud?
I shot my first pintail that actually had pins on it.
Did you?
Really?
I did, yeah.
When'd you get that?
The day after ATA, I shot the geese and the mallards, and actually it was a good day. I got geese, I got a drake and a female mallard, I got a pintail and a possum. The possum walked right up to me.
That would have been a honey bun moment.
Felt bad actually. I'm like,
Did
you dummy, dummy. I'm sitting here. I all but danced in front of them. You never see one of them walk at you with their pointy nose in the wintertime? Just they have no clue you're there. I was sitting there going, "Don't shoot them." I feel bad. Don't shoot. And then I started thinking about all the turkey eggs he's going to eat in the spring. And I went, well, still shot does the job.
Got you a possum.
Got me a possum. But no, the pintail was exciting.
Yeah.
I've shot a pintail before, but I believe I knocked the pintails off. So I don't know if I'm going to get him out or not. He's in the freezer. It's pretty nice.
Speaking of that, when Will and I were sea duck hunting, we kind of made one duck look like Daffy Duck. I never thought that was possible, but
it happens.
Yeah, it does happen. That you shooting the pintails off, that made me.
The pintails, is that the part that curls up?
Nope. No, that's a Drake mallard.
Dang it.
This has a weird.
See? That's why I don't go.
Thing like this out to. I don't know. This apparently they fall off easy. I don't know. I might be wrong, but the only ones I've ever seen anybody get, they're hard to keep together.
Phil, did you guys see any seagrouse or water pheasant when you were out with Captain Mark?
No.
He didn't put you on any?
No, in fact, guys,
Come on, Mark.
I
Almost
guess
had the
that's
boat rolled by
why
Norwal.
they've shifted us off of lead shot to steel shot.
Really put it-
The
really-
lead tore the heck out of the.
You know he's going to edit this out.
So. Oh well.
That's just for Will.
That was
Unless he
Edit,
misses it like the
edit.
fart.
Yeah. Like the fart he did at the end
I can't believe you missed that fart.
with what about 3:30 left. I can't believe that. But anyway, guys, hey, Ryan,
Yes, sir.
how do people find us?
Well, to find us, I would say the best place for you to go is rutandriverpursuits.com.
Or Google.
Or you could Google it, Rut and River Pursuits Podcast. You go to rutandriverpursuits.com, though. You can find all of the links to all the podcast stuff, iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play. Is there a link for CastBox? I don't know, but we love
that's
CastBox.
an app. Oh, we love CastBox.
Oh, we love us some
Download that app
CastBox.
on the Android platform.
And also, you can check out the pick of the week. That's up there. There looks like there's a crazy plastic-headed rut and buck up there right now. So we're going to need to get that updated, I think, before.
Plastic-headed rotten
I'm
buck.
feeling pretty lazy to update
I
that
was doing-
anytime soon.
I was doing a lip curl and peeing on my haunches when they took that picture.
I didn't see you peeing on your haunches,
Well,
but I
You know
did
what's
see
great
the
that
lip
he,
curl.
you know what's
Camera
great that
panned
he
up.
didn't know when he was doing that. If you look over his shoulder, there's Uncle Jeff and Hannah Barron were in the background watching him
No
from
way.
a distance. Doing it.
They loved it.
They did. It was good to see him at 88.
And you know what else, guys? I think we have a couple of us that have some pretty solid YouTube channels going on right now. That's Uncle Catfish and David Kyle.
Uncle Catfish's YouTube channel, David Kyle's, DK's got a YouTube channel, and actually Rut and River's got their own YouTube channel too. It's
Check it out.
I just put a new video
River-
out, absolutely,
River
of something
Pursuits
important to me.
podcast.
Thanks for mentioning it, Phil.
You're welcome.
You can also follow us on Instagram, R2 Pursuits,
Twitter,
also R2 Pursuits.
Facebook,
R2 Pursuits.
That's-
Where are we
at
going?
Rut and River
I think it's
Pursuits
at-
Podcast.
That's
That
going to
rubber.
get edited out.
Yes.
You gotta just start,
Yeah.
start this whole where can they find this thing over again?
What did I miss? I just have to
You're
ask.
welcome, Will.
What did I just
He's
miss?
not going to have hardly anything
edit,
to edit
edit.
out of this one.
We should tell them that. Oh, it's perfect. You probably won't have to do any work.
No, I won't say that ever again.
Just out of principle. Even it could
Why don't
be
you just
the
fart in the
most,
microphone and get it over with?
I can't.
It could be the most perfect episode where they're just recorded. He's going to find something to edit it.
He will.
Just so he could
He will.
say, you know,
That should be one of
Yeah.
our goals is
Bless
to do
his
one
heart.
so good he can't edit it.
He's trying to get Jim to send him all the Span the Void ones because when he's down there with us doing one,
yeah.
and he just kind of looks at Jim like, you're going to need to take that out.
Jim says
Jim's
we-
like, yeah, we're good. We chop off the beginning and the end.
We got the.
And we're
we
done.
don't edit, Jim says.
Anyway, now you can go ahead and get back into the editing. Will, go ahead.
Alrighty.
Ready? And
Up,
here
up,
comes the edit.
Hey, Ryan,
Yeah, bud.
where can our fans find us?
Well, I'd say the best thing to do is just jump on over to rutandriverpursuits.com. And on there, you will have all the information and links you need to find us. iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher. I don't think we have anything out there for CastBox yet, but Stevie does love that app. That'll get you to all of the episodes of the podcast. You can also check out Pick of the Week. There's a crazy-looking plastic-headed Rut and Buck out there right now.
Ain't coming down anytime soon.
Well, we'll update that at some point.
Second rut is on.
It's happening. I would also say the thing you want to do right now is check us out on YouTube, right? Rut and River Pursuit Podcast on YouTube. Uncle Buck, you know Uncle Catfish has a YouTube channel too.
He certainly does.
Yeah, and DK's got one.
He does too.
David
They-
Kyle.
And they're both burning
They're tearing
it up,
them up.
man. Yeah, they are.
Tearing them up. So you always want to check out the YouTube channels. We're on
Instagram, Twitter,
R2 Pursuits.
and don't forget to follow us individually. Because not only does our R2 account have plenty of action, but so do all our personal accounts.
Everybody's always doing something. Am I right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep, they sure are. I had a fan even say that you guys are always doing something, how do you guys do it?
That's why we need the current.
Amen.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thank goodness the current came along.
Oh,
Yeah.
You get swept up in it.
it's
Yeah.
refreshing.
It's a rip current.
Swept up in it. There's a tagline.
Alrighty, everybody.
Thanks for listening, guys.
See it.
Later.
Get you some.
In all fairness to Catfish,
much.
he had a real short, like, little cat nap right before that truck stop.
Yeah.
And I don't know what I ate, but I thought I was going to wake him up. And he slept through it. And I was honest with him when he woke up. I'm like, dude, you picked a good time to take a nap because that was
I told him
that was not of this earth.
I had a bad dream. Thought like a puma was choking me in my sleep.
And I looked at it closer and I said, buddy, that's not a selfie. We weren't with you. Who took this picture?
Catfish?
That goes to the grave.
Hey, Ryan.
Yes, sir.
Hey Siri, play Rutten River Pursuits.
Oh, bless your heart.
I couldn't find Rutten River Pursuits in your music.
You Siri.
Siri's dead to me.
All right, Bucky. Take 12.